I got up early to make breakfast for my wife's birthday. As I set the table, I overheard her laughing on the phone. He's cooking like his love can compete with a 7-figure bank account. Her friends laughed. I served breakfast with a smile. 3 weeks later, her new millionaire boyfriend dumped her. Now she's at my door begging me to take her in. It was just before 6 a.m. when I cracked the eggs. She loves them soft scrambled, barely set, with a dash of heavy cream and chives. Something I picked up from a YouTube chef she once binge-watched during lockdown. Bacon not too crispy. Brioche French toast with that expensive maple syrup from Vermont I had to order online. Strawberries sliced into hearts, even though she'd call it cheesy. And coffee. French press. 2 sugars, no cream. The whole thing was ridiculous, romantic, and a bit desperate. But it was her birthday, and things had been off for a while now. Missed texts, cold shoulders. Her staying late at work when I knew the projects weren't piling up. Laughter at jokes I wasn't around to hear. And that sudden interest in dressing like she was auditioning for a Netflix reboot of Gossip Girl every time she went out with the girls. So yeah, I tried. One last time. I laid it all out on the table: linen cloth, the candle holders she loved, a tiny vase with a single white tulip, her favorite. I was plating the bacon when I heard her laugh. She was in the living room, just around the corner. Phone on speaker, voice low but clear. I paused by the stove and listened. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I already knew what I'd hear. He's cooking, she giggled. Like his love can compete with a 7-figure bank account. There was a sharp inhale of shocked delight from the other end. Then full-on laughter. Someone said, "Poor guy. At least let him serve the food before you crush him." My wife, Tara, 32F, didn't even hesitate. "I might take a bite," she said. He did get the syrup I like. That's when something inside me split. Not dramatically, quietly, like the sound of a single thread tearing in a shirt you've worn for years. I finished making her plate, poured the coffee, placed the napkin on her lap like always, and smiled. "Happy birthday, babe," I said. She looked up, startled for half a second, before composing herself. "Thanks. This looks amazing." No kiss, no hug, just a soft thanks and a phone she kept face down on the table. We ate in silence, and I pretended not to notice the way she kept glancing toward her screen. So I, 34M, and Tara, 32F, have been married for 4 years. No kids. Not yet. Maybe thankfully. We met in grad school. She was ambitious, magnetic, the kind of woman who made you feel like a background extra in your own life unless she smiled at you. And when she smiled at me, I fell. I work in software. Built a stable, solid company that won't ever go public but pays the bills and then some. We live in a quiet part of Charlotte, North Carolina. Townhouse, shared garden, neighbors who wave at you but never intrude. I thought we were good. Not flashy, but real. I thought she liked that. But that morning told me everything I needed to know. And the worst part? She didn't even try to hide it. The next 2 weeks were a slow, brutal unraveling. Late nights, sudden gym membership, a new dress I know she didn't buy with our shared account, and that same glazed look anytime I tried to talk about anything deeper than takeout or taxes. Then came the Saturday night. She came home glowing, lit from within like someone fresh off a roller coaster. Said she met some people at a fundraiser. Dropped a name, Alec, casually, then disappeared into the bathroom with her phone and never came back to the living room. That's when I started digging. Alec, 41M, divorced, real estate developer, known for flipping condos and girlfriends in equal measure. I found him in 2 Google searches and a social media trail filled with champagne, watches that cost more than my car, and selfies with influencers tagged in Bali or Monaco or Turks and Caicos. Tara started dressing differently. Glossier, expensive perfume that lingered even when she left early. She stopped wearing her wedding ring. Said it was getting resized, right? Then 3 weeks after the birthday breakfast, she sat me down. "You deserve someone who wants what you can give," she said, so gently, as if that made it better. "I just need more ambition, more lifestyle." Alec gets that. She left that night, took 1 suitcase, said she didn't want to make it messy, didn't ask for the house, didn't ask for anything, actually, just walked out like we were roommates at the end of a lease. 3 weeks later, there was a knock at my door. It was 9:12 p.m. I almost didn't answer. Tara stood there, shivering in a threadbare sweater that probably cost more than my winter coat. Hair unwashed, eyes red. "I didn't know where else to go," she said. I looked past her. No car in the driveway, just her and a phone clutched in her hand like a lifeline. "What happened to Alec?" I asked because I needed to. She swallowed. He flew to Belize. With someone else. Blocked my number. Changed the locks on the apartment. Of course he did. "I thought he loved me," she whispered. I let the silence stretch. Then she reached out. "Can I just come inside? Just for a bit? I'm so cold." And here's the thing. I did open the door. Let her step into the warmth. Let her breathe in the scent of the home we built. I even made her tea. Not out of kindness, but because I needed her to taste what she threw away. We didn't talk much. She cried. I let her. She said she was stupid. I didn't argue. Then she asked it, the question I'd been waiting for. "Can we try again?" I looked at her, really looked, and saw the ghost of who she'd once been, flickering in a body shaped by too many lies and one very expensive mistake. I stood, walked to the door, opened it. "No," I said, calm as the sunrise. "But thank you for making breakfast so easy next year." She didn't move. So I said, more gently this time, "Go find someone whose love can compete with a 7-figure bank account." And then I closed the door. Edit 1. No, I don't feel bad. Not even a little. Edit 2. Yes, I changed the locks. That night. Edit 3. To the person who asked if I kept making that same birthday breakfast. Yeah, I do. But now I eat it alone. And I savor every bite. Date 1. It's been 6 weeks since Tara showed up at my door like a sad cliché out of a second-rate rom-com, hoping I'd forget everything she said. Everything she did. Because the grass turned out to be astroturf with a rot problem underneath. I haven't spoken to her since that night. I meant it when I said no. But I have been busy. See, for a long time I thought silence was the high road. That being the better man meant shutting up, keeping my head down, letting things pass. But it doesn't. Sometimes silence just lets people rewrite the story. So when I heard from our mutual friend Nicole, shout out to real ones, that Tara was going around telling people I emotionally manipulated her, and that our marriage was already over long before Alec, I knew it was time to make sure the right version of the story existed, on paper. Here's what happened. 1. The digital trail. I spent 2 nights quietly collecting screenshots. Our old shared photo storage, synced notes, the joint calendar, dates lining up. Her weekend girls trip in March that overlapped exactly with Alec's yacht posts from Bimini. The voice memo she accidentally uploaded 2 weeks before her birthday, titled "For Alec" with a heart emoji. That one stung. Did I want to hear it? No. Did I save it to a hard drive with a legal timestamp? Absolutely. It was her reading a poem she didn't write. Soft voice, intimate tone, ending with "I hate pretending at home." That was a month before she left. 2. The apartment. Tara never told me she'd moved in with Alec. Not officially. But I found out through a LinkedIn notification, bless passive-aggressive algorithms, that she'd started a new journey as a lifestyle director at one of his luxury properties. Turns out Alec didn't just dump her. He replaced her with another lifestyle director in 2 weeks. A younger one, with a larger following. You know what hurts a narcissist more than losing love? Being replaced like they were never special to begin with. 3. The financial tangent. This part gets dicey. When Tara left, she said she didn't want anything messy. Said I could keep everything. I asked her to sign a separation agreement in writing, simple, clean, no claims to assets, no future alimony. She laughed and signed without reading. Literally. Didn't read it. I had my lawyer file it quietly the same week. Why? Because I knew how this would play out. Alec wasn't going to marry her. And once that fairy tale dried up, she'd come sniffing around the life she abandoned. She wasn't asking for love. She was asking for stability. And now she can't even sue for spousal support. That document is ironclad. She found out last Thursday. Sent a long text that started with, "I just want to have a conversation as adults," and ended with, "I trusted you." She didn't trust me when she left. She trusted that I'd always be soft, predictable, still making breakfast like a man begging to be chosen. She forgot I also build software. I automate things. I optimize. And this time I optimized for freedom. But here's the real twist. On Sunday, I got a call from Alec's ex-wife. Didn't even know her name until she left me a voice message. "Hi, this is Nadine. I think we need to compare notes." Apparently Tara's little affair wasn't her first rodeo. Alec has a habit of auditioning replacements before cutting ties. Nadine said she recognized the pattern in Tara instantly. Said it took her 5 years to leave him, but Tara barely lasted 5 weeks. We met for coffee at a bookstore downtown. Classy woman. Sharp. Not bitter, just done. She showed me screenshots, receipts, a burner phone Tara used to message Alec before she even left me. The timeline started 6 months before her birthday. She even had photos. One of them? It was of Tara on Alec's yacht wearing my hoodie. The one from that trip to Asheville when we got snowed in and drank cheap wine and said we'd never lie to each other. I deleted the photo from my phone 2 years ago when she said it made her look tired. She kept the hoodie. She wore it to cheat. Let that sink in. So where does that leave me? Not angry. Not anymore. Just clear. I filed for divorce. Served via email and physical mail with return receipt. Legally, it's clean. Emotionally, it's quiet. But I didn't stop there. Tara tried to apply for a line of credit 2 weeks ago using our joint address. Got flagged. She called the bank to verify her marital status. Said we were working things out. They contacted me for confirmation. I sent them the legal separation agreement. Her application was denied. She now has exactly one financial tie left to me. Her name is still on the old insurance policy we took out 2 years ago. Guess what I did this morning? Updated the beneficiary. To me. Alone. Edit 1. To the people saying she was probably just confused. She wasn't. She was cruel. There's a difference. Edit 2. Yes, Nadine and I are staying in touch. No, it's not romantic. But there's something healing about drinking coffee with someone who understands the fire you walked through. Update 2. It's been just under 5 months since Tara left me for Alec. 2 months since she stood on my doorstep, mascara dripping, whispering about second chances. 1 month since the divorce was finalized. I haven't spoken to her since the papers went through. Not a text, not a call, not a glance back, but I did hear about her. Because karma? She's a quieter, smarter woman than Tara ever was. And when she shows up, she doesn't scream. She just rearranges the furniture in your life until you don't recognize your own reflection. Let me explain. 1. The fall of Tara. Turns out Alec didn't just dump her. He used her. His wife Nadine, the one who met me for coffee. She played it cool at first, but she'd been laying legal groundwork for years. Alec had signed a post-nup during a rough patch, and Nadine? She waited, bided her time, and then, thanks to Tara, she had everything she needed. Screenshots, affidavits, the burner phone, testimonies. I don't know the full details, nor do I need to, but Alec's reputation? Shredded. His development company was in the middle of a high-profile luxury condo deal in Miami. The buyers pulled out. The bank called the loan. Investors ghosted. And Tara? Well, let's just say the man who once flew her out on private jets now wouldn't cover her Uber home. Nadine made sure of that. Alec liquidated the NYC apartment. Kicked Tara out 2 weeks after she signed a lease in the same building. Thinking she'd stay close. I heard she couch-surfed for a while. Then rented a room in a transitional living space. Fancy term for a shared house with a broken heater and Craigslist furniture. Our mutual friend Nicole texted me last week. Saw Tara. She looks hollow. Kept asking if you're seeing anyone. I didn't say anything. 2. The scar tissue. People assume I'm angry. That I'm plotting some final move to destroy her life. But that's the thing, I don't need to. She already did it to herself. I've learned something in the quiet. You don't need revenge when you've already escaped. You don't need to torch the bridge when you watch the person on the other side light the match, walk away, and then come crawling back with smoke in their eyes pretending they don't smell like betrayal. She gave up a man who loved her for a man who saw her as an accessory. And when he tossed her aside, she came back expecting her place to still be warm. But love doesn't freeze in time. It dies in silence. And that's what she gave me. 3. My life now. I moved, sold the house, took the equity and bought a small cabin just outside Asheville, up in the hills. You can't see neighbors. At night, the sky is full of stars so thick it feels like you could scoop them out with a spoon. I rebuilt the kitchen myself. Hardwood counters, open shelves, French press on the counter. Still make breakfast every Sunday. But now it's just for me. Or, well, sometimes for someone else too. Her name's Sienna. We met at a hardware store of all places. She was trying to find paint that matched the shade of her grandmother's old dresser. We talked for an hour in the aisle. Then we got coffee. Then dinner. Then silence, but the good kind. She doesn't know the whole story yet. Just pieces. But one day when I'm ready, I'll tell her. And I'll make us that breakfast. For the last contact. Tara did try again. One more time. Came last week. An email. Just the subject line. I still love you. I didn't open it. Just hovered over the notification. Then I did what I should have done a long time ago. Deleted. Blocked. Archived the past. She loved the version of me that kept forgiving. Not the version who finally forgave himself. And that man? He doesn't need her anymore. Final edit. To everyone who's been following, thank you. You helped me stay sane in the spiral. Gave me the push to find clarity in the chaos. I don't know what tomorrow looks like, but I know this. I am not the man she left. I'm the man who stood back up and kept walking.